Hello guys, this is the SRAW. I'm going to be showing you here today how to use it as an effective sniper tool. It's one of my favorites because it's just so insulting on people, but it requires a huge amount of skill to use. It is very effective at swatting things out of the sky. When something, as you can see, this thing is a king, you want to not do that stuff because they're most likely going to try and dive stuff, and it's really difficult to. And you also don't want to try and dive them when they're being that because they usually spin a lot to get out of the way, or they dive as well. But you want people when they're doing a neutral retreat or just trying to maneuver, gain altitude or lose altitude, because most of the time they're just going to stay straight and they're not doing anything because they're in that relaxed position. Now when you're trying to shoot something really far away, you want to move your mouse in little tiny increments, because if you move it in too big of an increment, it'll cause your to spin out and you'll lose control. So if something makes a drastic change, you can whip your control to the side, and that way it'll be able to gain a huge change in direction, and then you can go back to the little increments and you'll have control over it a little bit. But it's really hard to guess this, so you want to try and avoid doing that if you can. If you play normal, you're going to be able to use the little Doritos to track your opponents, but I think if you get used to it in hardcore, it's better, because at a distance, those little Dorito icons and things kind of blur your screen and make it difficult for you to see. It can be kind of difficult to people with this, seeing as you need a direct hit because of the splash damage and nerf on this in general, since the other games like Battlefield 2. So unless somebody's behind a wall, that's really the only way you're going to kill them, is if you hit them directly. Because even if you hit them a foot away from it, it's not going to be enough to kill them. What you can do is, as you saw there, is you can whip it up with your mouse and bring it back down. That can get you over obstacles and kind of help also break up the directional fire of where you are, so making it more difficult for people to track you. When you're snipers, you want to look for silhouettes and for their sniper glare, and when you're trying to hit them, you have to move very, very small increments because it makes a huge difference in how much there's going to move. I usually find that less is more.
Like, let's just add more plastic for the sake of adding more plastic. I hate keyboards like this.
You can just fire it without looking at your sight, without ADS aiming down your sight, and that'll just make a dumb rocket. It'll go wherever you aimed it. Then the second way is you fire it when you're looking down your sights, and that way you can track and guide the rocket by yourself. You can see here, this is what I'm mostly doing throughout the whole video. That's what I did there to this. And then the third way you can do it is this, where you use a sort of built-in guidance system where you're tracking the object with your cursor, putting the cursor over the object, and as long as you're doing that, it's got a fairly decent chance that it's going to hit it. So fire over here, I really don't even know where it goes, I just gotta find it. It's perfectly okay, and now I found it, keep my mouse on it, and it tracks to it and hits it. While this is not a great system, it's fairly reliable. It's a lot more reliable, I think, especially at close range, than actually trying to aim at the object, because it fills so much of your screen, it's very difficult to see anything. So here we go, here's the thing. I fire off my rocket, I chase back to it, and hold my cursor over it, and you can see why exactly this thing isn't completely 100% reliable. And it just eventually times out and blows up. And you don't necessarily have to track vehicles or anything hot with it. You can still do the same thing here, giving it a reference point to track to and let go, and it will go wherever you last left it, using the guidance it was last given. So you can fire straight out into the middle of nowhere, drag it back. And this used to work where one missile would come and hit, and then the other missile would come and hit, but they've since patched that out. See, the other missile never comes, and that missile hits. This used to be a really cool thing that you could do, but since they patched it out and it no longer works, it's not helpful at all. But there is a way you can get around it and to sort of make it work again. Right, so let's say we're sneaking here like a velociraptor through the bushes, and we're coming up on some enemies. We kind of hear them over there on the beach. So So we peek at them. This little hole here, we see there's 2 enemies. We can't possibly hit them both. But what I can do is I can fire that first missile off, keep it really low with objects in between us so that they can't see the missile. And then I can direct the missile back. It'll hit that one. As soon as it hits, I immediately launch this missile, and I can go boom, boom, and hit both places. Then from their end over here on their boats, they see a missile going off into the distance in the wrong direction, so they think they're perfectly fine and safe until the missile comes and boom, right in their face. I hope this guide helps you, gives you a little bit better idea on how to use this thing as a sniper, and I hope you enjoy this.